people, it's me Anja, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. I feel like the title of this video is pretty self-explanatory, so let's just get into it and get into why you need to read these books. Not just for Black History Month, but just in general. So yeah, the first book on this list is called Punching the Ale. This book is a YA contemporary story and follows a young black Muslim boy who gets wrongfully incarcerated. I think this book is entirely so good. It's just so wonderful and so lovely, and I think that you need to read it because it's so insightful and so educational, you know what I mean? But also aside from that, it's just so good. It's so lyrical and so wonderful, and these authors did such a great job crafting the story and bringing it to life because it's absolutely so good. This book was one of my favorite books of 2020, and for good reason, because it's absolutely so amazing and it definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. It's a book that I would gladly reread and just read over and over and over and over again because it's absolutely so amazing and it's excellent and incredible. So with that, I would highly recommend it. So please go read it. So even though I think that it's really important to read stories that will teach you something and are really insightful, educational, I think it's equally as important to read stories that are about like happiness and joy. And the next book on this list definitely celebrates that, and it is Yesterday's History. This story is YA contemporary and it follows a black queer teenager who gains the ability to time travel, and now he's stuck between two boys, one in the past and one in the present. I really enjoy this story much more than I was expecting to. You know what I mean? I just really enjoyed the world building, the writing, the characters, the romance. Every single element of the story is so wonderful and so lovely, and it's so fluffy and so cute and so wholesome. This book did not read as a debut book, you know what I mean? I will gladly read more by this author in the future because they are so talented at crafting the world and the characters and the romance. Like I said, every single element of this story is so good. This book is so good and it definitely deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so wonderful and so lovely and so wholesome and so lighthearted and fluffy and so cute. You know what I mean? So essentially, this book is so good and I highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called On the Come Up, written by Angie Thomas. This book is a YA contemporary story that follows a young girl who's trying to fill her late father's shoes as a rapper. And it's about fighting for your dreams even when the odds are stacked against you, which is such a relatable message. And it's just so timely and so important. And I think this book is so necessary because it's so good and it's just so wonderful. But like I said, it's also so timely because fighting for your dreams even when the odds are stacked against you is such a relatable message for black people, but also other minorities, but also especially for black people because so often we are treated as the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? So anyway, this story is so good. This is my favorite Angie Thomas book because it's absolutely so amazing. Angie Thomas is so good at writing. She's so good at crafting a world, crafting characters that you care about, crafting like everything. She is so talented. You know what I mean? So with that, I highly recommend this book because it definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more. And unpopular opinion, like I said, I think this book deserves more hype than The Hate U Give and Concrete Rose. So yeah. The next book on this list is called The Good Luck Girls. This book is YA fantasy and follows Astro and her group of friends who are all outlaws from the brothel that enslaved them. I think this book is so good and it's so timely and so necessary because I think that it's so important to read about black people in a fantastical world. You know what I mean? Who are the stars of their own stories. You know, fantasy is such a white-dominated genre that I think it's so important to read about people of color, but especially black people, in a fantastical world that just stars them. You know what I mean? Basically, this story is so good, and it's so underrated, and for what, because it's absolutely so good. I am so excited to read this sequel. I think it comes out in April or something like that. But anyway, this book is so good. I love the world building. I love the cast of characters. I love their dynamic between each other. Found family is probably one of my favorite tropes, and I love this story so much. The characters, the plot, the world building, every single element of this story just blends well together. You know what I mean? This author is so talented and so underrated, and this book is absolutely so good. So with that, I highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Poet X, written by Elizabeth Acevedo. This story is YA contemporary and it follows a young girl in Harlem who discovers slam poetry as a way to understand her mother's religion and her own place in the world. This book is so good. I think that this is the type of story that will never stop being timely. You know what I mean? Elizabeth Acevedo is such a talented author, and this book definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. I just found myself falling in love with this story, with the main character, because I love her. I love her voice. She has such a wonderful voice, and she seems like such a realistic, three-dimensional character. You know what I mean? I love this story so much because it's absolutely so incredible and so good, and it's just so wonderful and touching and lovely, and it's just so good. This book is absolutely so amazing, and I think that it's Elizabeth's best book. So with that, I would highly recommend it, and I'm sorry that the lighting just changed throughout this video, but I can't control that because the lighting that I'm using is the sun. So yeah, this book is so incredible. So please read it if you haven't already. So in conclusion, happy Black History Month. I hope that this video serves as a reminder that you should be reading by Black authors at all times of the year, not just during Black History Month, because that is performative allyship, and I'm not here for it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the traffic light emoji if you made it this far in the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!